can guarantee you that for the most part, you weren't always good. I started basketball in 5th grade, and let me tell you, I sucked. I was terrible. I wanted to quit. How many of you have ever felt this way? Whether it's sports, or art, or math, or whatever it is you're good at, did you ever want to quit? If you truly love something, I can guarantee you that quitting is never the answer. Close your eyes and think about this and what it means to you in your life. You have to be willing to be bad before you can be great. You have to be willing to fail before you can succeed. Just think about that. You have to be willing to fail before you can succeed. You have to be willing to be bad before you can be great. Growth requires resistance. What does that really mean? Here's a real-world example of something that needs resistance. Think of an airplane. It needs resistance from the wind to give it lift to fly. It's a pretty simple concept. This same concept applies to success and flying. Oftentimes when we fail, we consider ourselves to be failures. What is a failure? Failure is an occurrence and not an event. Therefore, you and I cannot be failures. We can still fail, but it isn't the failures that define us. It's the successes and triumphs that come from it. So how many of you basketball players in here have ever dreamed of dunking? I had dreams of dunking in the 5th grade when I started playing basketball. I have tried over and over and over and over again. It must have been 10,000 times. I'll bet you'll be able to do it by 9th grade, my uncle told me. I'll do it in 8th, I replied, and thus the bet between my uncle and I was created. I went to the grindhouse, as my coach, Sean Phillips, calls it, when the player puts in hours upon hours of work on his game. By 7th grade, I could finally begin to touch the rim, and I started to try to dunk. 1, 2, 3. I tried over and over and over again. 300, 301. By my 8th grade year, I could finally begin to grab the rim, and I had tried at least 7,000 times. 7,451, 7,452. If someone told you it would take 10,000 attempted dunks to get one in, what would you do? You'd probably go out every single day and try to dunk until your legs would fall down. You begin to get closer. 9,990, 9,991, 9,995, 9,999. Dad did the camera. 10,000. You did it. You took all that time and you finally dunked. In many ways, life is like this, except we don't know what number we're reaching for. If you're trying to get a job but you can't, you have to try over and over and over again to find the one you want to stick with. If you're trying to write a song, you have to put in hundreds of thousands of different lyrics to find the one you put out. Life in many ways is like dunking. There's even a popular rule by researcher Malcolm Gladwell that supports the idea that it takes 10,000 hours to turn raw talent into success. Even Michael Jordan was cut from his basketball team his freshman year. Can you imagine saying no to the Michael Jordan? Life in many ways is like this. You have to get lower to jump higher. Back to basketball. In my opinion, it takes 1 year to understand, 2 years to know what to do, 3 years to be good, and an eternity to become a master. My first year of basketball, I played on 5 different teams and in over 100 games. And most of you know that's more than the NBA plays in a regular season. My second year I got better, and my third year I joined a national team called YGC 36, and we were sponsored by Adidas. This is one of the few things in life that I truly love and am willing to do anything to stay on. I put in hours upon hours of work every week and tell myself when I'm getting tired, this is what separates me from the rest of the world. Oftentimes when it would rain, I would still go outside and put in my hours. I have played against some of the best teams I've played against some of the best players and teams in the country and have been extremely humbled by it. I've also realized that hard work does pay off. Oftentimes when we fall, we get scars. Many times people have come to me and told me, Paul, I want to get rid of my scars because they're ugly. I've told them in response, don't get rid of your scars, because they tell the story of who you are. They tell the story that only you can tell. I have many scars internally and externally, but I know that they tell the story of how I walked, crawled, ran, and even jumped, and eventually dunked. So what if it's not basketball? What if it's being a stay-at-home mom or being a mechanic? Your goal might not be to dunk, but we are still moving towards greatness together. Become the best version of yourself. Don't try to be anything you're not. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you must must realize that you are who you are, so why try to be anything different? And remember, you have to be willing to be bad